Welcome to Rise Up Voices from the Frontlines, your window into relationships, identity, safety, emotional awareness, regulation and intelligence, unleashed potential, passion and purpose.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Rise Up Voices from the Frontlines, and I am your host, Krista Fee, and today we are diving deep into one of the slipperiest, sneakiest traps of the healing world, spiritual bypassing. Now listen, this one might sting a little bit because spiritual bypassing isn't always obvious. It sounds evolved. It looks enlightened. It often feels like peace, but it's actually avoidance, wearing a velvet robe, and holding a healing crystal. So what is it really? How does it show up in your language, your relationships, and your nervous system? And most importantly, how can we tell the difference between genuine integration and polished avoidance? If you're here for truth with a side of sass and science, you're in the right place. So what is spiritual bypassing? Spiritual bypassing was coined by psychologist John Wellwood, and it means using spiritual practices or beliefs to avoid dealing with emotional pain, trauma, and unresolved issues. Oftentimes you'll hear things like, everything happens for a reason. I'm just protecting my peace. That's their karma, not mine. Now, sometimes these phrases are absolutely valid. The why and the timing matter. Because if you're using them to sidestep repair, accountability, or grief, that's not wisdom. That's fear sitting in a lotus position. So let's talk about Marcus, our mindful avoider. I'll give you a story example. Marcus got into breathwork and meditation, and he had been going through a really rough divorce. He was journaling, grounding, joining conscious men's circles, and when his teenage daughter tried to talk to him about the hurt that she was carrying, he said, "That sounds like your story, and you need to release it." This caused her to feel shut down, not because she wasn't trying to be in the healing process, because her pain was dismissed under the banner of conscious detachment. What Marcus meant as wisdom landed on his daughter as emotional abandonment. So let's talk about the neuroscience of bypassing, because I am all about how things work and why. So here's what's happening in your brain. When you've lived in stress or trauma, your nervous system is adapted for survival. Your window of tolerance shrinks. When difficult emotions arise, your system kind of says, nope, that's too dangerous. So instead of feeling shame, processing grief, owning harm, you jump into things like rationalization, reframing, transcendence. Your body thinks that it's regulating, but it's actually numbing. And language literally has become a disguise. So let's talk about the signs. Here are some red flags that you might be spiritually bypassing. Do you avoid difficult conversations and call it energetic hygiene? Do you shut down emotional expression with platitudes like, just trust the universe? Or, I only let high vibe people in my space? Do you use spiritual language to deflect feedback from others? Do you talk a lot about being high vibe, but have no capacity for vulnerability and intimacy? Do you mistake detachment for healing when you're actually just being emotionally numb? Here are a few check yourself questions. Am I using boundaries to shut people out of my life instead of have difficult communications? Do I label people as toxic because I don't want to hear the uncomfortable truths? Do I feel safe in stillness? Or do I only feel safe in distance? Let's talk about the connection between social media and the spiritual performance trap. Instagram is making this worse. You can post healing quotes, trauma memes, and soft filtered breathwork reels and look like you're thriving. But real healing is not always pretty. More often than not, it's messy. It looks like crying during a conversation instead of cutting it off. It looks like owning your mistakes, taking relentless accountability without a mystical explanation. It looks like listening to someone else's pain and being present without offering a lesson. Reclaiming real healing is challenging. It's not about pretend peace, it's about presence. Real growth is feeling things deeply and staying with those feelings. It's owning your impact and your responsibility. It's practicing humility. It's building capacity for discomfort and staying regulated while you do that. It's far less about perfect language and more about an actual embodied integrity. So here's some final thoughts. You don't need to be ashamed if you see yourself in this. We all do this. It's literally a nervous system survival tool, and noticing it is actually a huge step forward. Here's a gentle invitation. Don't let your healing become your hiding place. Don't trade pain for performance. Don't confuse avoidance with alignment. You really deserve to heal all the way, not just until you sound wise, but until you feel free. If this resonates with you, please make sure to grab your spot in the RISEUP Foundation's membership, where you will find the full version of this program. Check out our blog and stay tuned for the next episode in this series. You can always book a free connection call with me to explore how RISEUP can transform your life. As always, stay curious, stay connected, and stay human.
Become a RiseUp Hero sponsor to provide mental wellness and crisis response resources for those who serve country and community. Join us in the RiseUp movement today.